sisters, back on with another video. In this video, we're going to be speaking about a few things. We're going to be speaking about Antarctica. We're going to be speaking about these penguins we have on screen right now. And we're also going to be talking about the ice wall. Okay? Now we'll come to clean things up and clear things up in this truth community and get things straight. Okay? So we're going to be talking about the edge of the map in this video and what the wicked man brings to the table. Now you need to understand that if they can convince the masses, the majority of people, that space is real and have people believe in outer space, that people can land on the moon and that Mars is real, okay? Show you that Mars is some dusty planet, show you that the moon is some dusty planet. Well, if they can convince you that those places are real, don't you think that they can convince you that Antarctica is real the same way they did that? Okay? So let's have a look at this right now, people. Let's see what they got for us. So this is supposedly someone's footage from the 1950s of when they was in Antarctica. Okay? So what you're looking at are basically these fake penguins. They're not real. These are models, mannequins, animatronics, robots, CGI. Okay? These are not real creatures. Now I understand that you can go to the zoo and you can see penguins swimming about. Okay? But what I'm saying to you is, these creatures on screen that you're looking at right now are not even real, okay? These are animatronics, models, and mannequins, okay? The ones you see at the zoo are alive. Yes, they are alive. But you must understand that is not God's creature, okay? All of these black and white creatures are man-made creations, okay? Now, what do we know when it comes to symbology? What does the black and white represent? The black and white can represent a lot of things, but is mainly used within Freemasonry, okay? So the penguin and the other animals involved, but mainly the penguin, is a big Masonic hoax, okay? So you're either in with the joke or you're out with the joke. You understand what I'm saying? Now tell me now, what bird do you know that can't fly? Okay? There's only a handful of aquatic birds. Okay? But tell me a bird that can't fly. Okay? Because what you're looking at right here are supposedly birds that can't fly. So wake up on that, people. Look at the eyes of these creatures. Look at that, people. Come on, look at what we're looking at right here. Look at this. You know the googly eyes? You got the googly eyes right there. It's a puppet, a mannequin. You see? See that, people? They're not real. So why am I talking about this? We're talking about this because we need to clear things up and get things straight. Now, there's all this talk of an ice wall at the edge of the map, okay? Now, in this creation, there are laws that the Father, the Creator, has put in place. Physical laws, simple laws, okay? Now, these natural laws are simple things like fire and water, okay? Or ice and water. We have these different forms that the elements come in, you understand? And understand that in this creation that we live in, you either have water or you have ice, okay? There is no such thing as ice and water permanently being together. Now, this is basic stuff here, okay? But people need to be told it. People need to understand what is going on, okay? And I'll bring up a part two. We'll speak about this even more, okay? And you can do a simple experiment at home. All you need to do is fill up a glass of water and put some ice in there, and you'll see over a matter of time the ice will disappear and melt away and become water, okay? Now, what's going on when we have ice and water? The reason why we have ice and we have water is because it is frozen. It has gone below freezing point, okay? So it's either frozen or it's not frozen. It's one of the two, okay? And I just told you how about in this creation, the fathers put simple laws in place where you have either ice or you have water. And it's simply to do with temperature, okay? And I've been telling you about how the water is one body of water in the whole creation, meaning the water is connected, okay? So you might have the sun over there, it's a bit warmer over there, and the sun might be vacant on the other side, so it might be a bit cooler over there. But at the end of the day, the water is connected, okay? So you might have some smaller sections where the water's being disconnected, the water's not moving around as much, it's not receiving as much current, it's dead still, there's not much energy in that water, okay? It may turn into ice because of the temperature and the lack of energy, okay? But this ice will not be permanent. It will not remain forever. And I'll repeat myself. In this creation, you either have ice or you have water, okay? You don't have both. It's simple. Simple stuff, people. Yeah? So they can fool the masses about the moon, Mars, space, all this dumb shit. Don't let them fool you when it comes to this Antarctica, okay? We spoke about on the podcast about how they have the Antarctica Treaty, but they have all these countries involved and signed in to basically keep the edge of the map a secret and stop you from going to these places. And that is not a joke. That is serious fact. Okay? In this creation, you're not free to travel where you please. You cannot fly where you want. You cannot take a boat where you want. Okay? Understand there's borders and perimeters that the wicked man has put in place. Okay? And in the world of deception, they want you to believe that these countries are having conflict with one another, fighting one another, and having disputes. But when in reality, they are friends. Okay? And we have the hard evidence from the Antarctic Treaty showing you that they are willing to come together and work as a team to stop you and I from going to the edge. Okay? And that's why we're separating it right now. We're showing the people that I'm bringing the truth right here. Yeah? I'm not going to tell you about an ice wall because that's deception. Okay? So we're making it clear that there is no ice wall. And you can do a simple experiment by putting a couple ice cubes into a glass of water. Okay? This might be hard for people to understand, the same way that breaking the spell and the bondage from space, people landing on the moon and Mars, it may be hard for you to understand what I'm saying, but realize what I'm talking about is the truth and it is fact. Now you are not going to know what is at the edge because I told you they have a treaty. They put a lot of time and a lot of energy into making sure that doesn't happen, okay? They don't want you going there. Okay? They got nothing but CGI for you. Okay? It's a fake reality that they're building up. Okay? They can lie to you about space and all of this stuff. They can easily lie to you about the stuff that's going on right beside you. Okay? Understand that the creation you live in is a very big creation. And they have the people cooped up on very small bits of land. Very densely populated bits of land, okay? If you fly around on an aeroplane, do much traveling, you will realize and you will see that the people are kept down in small, small areas. While the wicked man has lots of space, plenty of space, just for himself. Yeah? Understand how the devil works. The devil works with division and deception. Okay? Understand how easy it is for them to do this. Understand how easy it is for them to trick you and fool you. Okay? This is nothing new, people. They've been doing this for a long time. Even on the National Geographic, David Attenborough, all the nature videos, yeah? A lot of that stuff is fake too. CGI, computer generated imagery, animatronics, robots, mannequins. They want to have you living in a fake reality, okay? And in order for them to do that, they need to give you all this fantasy shit. Fantasy shit meaning fake stuff. Meaning the stuff you watch on the screen, the stuff you believe to be real. And they're even going to give you these animals and say these animals are real to take you away from the creator, to take you away from the truth. Okay? So remember what I'm saying. The ones you're looking at on the screen right now are puppets and mannequins. However, there are some live creatures in the zoo. But understand, those creatures were made by man. Okay? Remember, tell me a bird that can't fly. And bear in mind the black and white animals. Bear that in mind. And understand it is a Freemasonic joke. A Freemasonic hoax. So be aware of that. Be aware that the gatekeepers are at the edge of the map. And there is no such thing as the ice wall. Okay? You have the firmament, which goes across the top of the creation, and it will come down. Okay? But they've got that Antarctic treaty to stop you from going there. Okay? Now, the firmament is made of a combination of three things, essentially. We're talking diamond. Now, the reason why I say diamond is because diamond is supposedly the hardest surface or the hardest object on Earth. Supposedly, it cannot be broken. The only way you can break it is by another diamond, supposedly. I'm not talking about the diamonds that people put in their rings and jewellery, because we know already that is lab-made bullshit. Let me tell you now on a side note, people. Don't waste your money on jewellery, gold, precious metals, diamonds are all man-made and lab-made. Don't waste your money on that. But back to the firmament. It's made out of diamond, it's made out of glass, and it's made out of water. Okay? Combination of those three things. Okay? The diamond, the hardest surface. The glass is holding the water back. The water that you see in the ocean is the same water that you see in the firmament. Understand that. Okay? And I've done a video on this. You can go to my page and check it out. Maybe I'll put the link in the description of where you see NASA or a space company. They shoot a rocket up It hits the firmament and it slides along. Okay? Slides along the waters, slides along the firmament. And it looks just like a boat cutting through the water. Okay? So I've explained the firmament to you and the reality of the firmament. So we're making it clear that there is no ice wall. Do not be fooled by this. You can do many experiments, simple experiments, even common sense, yeah, will lead you there. So don't be fooled by the deception. There's land there, people, yeah? There's land at the north, and there's land at the supposed south, okay, at the edge, both edges, you got land there. And you can listen to these people, these rulers and these controllers, and they'll tell you about that there's land there. They're not going to give you the full information or the full story, but they're going to let you know that there's things there, and they're getting active and they're doing works there, okay? But just remember, what is that works for? It's not for your safety, it's for their safety. They are building up what they have already, and they are protecting it. Understand that there are people who are living this creation who don't have to slave, okay? This part of the earth where you're living, where all this brainwash is going on, where everybody has a phone in their hand, that is the slavery part of the earth, okay? And they want everybody to be deceived and mindless and lost and not know who they are or where they're going. And because they are lost, they are easily deceived and easily rounded up like cattle and made to do things that they were told were right, when in reality they should have been taking time for themselves, learning and growing as an individual, rather than bigging up a next man or working for the wicked man. You understand? So you can see how large the deception is. They've got deception for the moon, the Mars, the supposed Mars, all of the space shit, Antarctica, deception. Told you, there's no ice in water. Understand that. It's one body of water. There is no permanent ice in the water. Understand that. Yes, you can have ice in water, but it will not be there permanently. It will not be there forever. So see the deception. Understand that the animals you're looking at on screen right now are fake. Okay? Look at them. Look at the eyes on it. Googly eyes. Come on. Come on. It's bullshit, people. Absolute bullshit. So yeah, like I say, I'm going to touch back on this again. So that's love and respect. Don't be fooled. Stay conscious out here. Love.